Follows for more on this. Danny, good morning. Thanks for being here. Quite a talker. Let's start with Baldoni's lawsuit against the New York Times. The Times, as Liz just pointed out there, has said they're going to vigorously defend their reporting.
Hollywood is no stranger to scandal. But what happens when the drama spills off the screen and into the courtroom? What if the stars we admire the most are suddenly pitted against each other in a battle of allegations, lawsuits, and shattered reputations? This isn't just another celebrity spat. It's a high-profile clash involving Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, and the New York Times, locked in a fight that could redefine how power and accountability collide in Hollywood.
Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively, and
big names.
Huge $250 million lawsuit, rumors of smear campaigns.
Oh yeah.
We've got conflicting stories left and right.
He said, she said.
Exactly.
Yes, we're talking about the same fight that involved Justin Baldoni, beloved for his compassionate public persona, being accused of sexual harassment by none other than Blake Lively herself. In retaliation, Baldoni has now filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, accusing the paper of misrepresentation.
Baldoni is reportedly preparing to file a countersuit against Lively, claiming she orchestrated a smear campaign against him. As the tension mounts, both teams are gearing up for what could be a high-stakes legal showdown.
How did it come to this? How did a project meant to address serious social issues explode into legal chaos, dividing fans and sparking widespread debate? Rewind to early 2024, fans were ecstatic when it was announced that Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively would star in the adaptation of Colleen Hoover's novel It Ends With Us. The book, which sold millions of copies worldwide, delves into themes of domestic abuse and resilience, a powerful story that Hollywood hoped would spark conversation and inspire change.
Colleen Hoover's novel, It Ends With Us, has spent 164 weeks, more than 3 years on a New York Times bestsellers list. That's a long time. This highly anticipated movie adaptation is out today. Run, don't walk to see this movie, starring the gorgeous Blake Lively and Brandon Sklenar. He's gorgeous, too.
Filming began, and all seemed well, at least from the outside. Behind the scenes, however, tensions were reportedly brewing. According to a bombshell article published by the New York Times in December 2024, Blake Lively raised concerns about Justin Baldoni's behavior during production. But when she did, the article claimed Baldoni and his team retaliated with a calculated smear campaign aimed at discrediting her.
Lively's lawsuit claims that the abusive dynamic on screen was mirrored off screen, with Baldoni allegedly engaging in repeated acts of harassment, ranging from unwanted physical contact to inappropriate comments, and creating a pervasive atmosphere of fear and anxiety throughout the production.
This article triggered Baldoni's $250 million defamation suit, in which he accuses the New York Times of deliberately distorting facts and cherry-picking evidence to create a narrative of misconduct. Meanwhile, Blake Lively filed her own lawsuit detailing allegations of harassment and retaliation. Now, both cases are headed for a legal showdown.
Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, made it clear in a statement to People that this impending lawsuit will expose what he says is the truth behind Lively's complaint. He said, quote, "This is not a response or countersuit. It's a deliberate pursuit of truth."
The New York Times article alleged that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign to silence Lively after she brought up concerns about his behavior. According to the report, Lively claimed that Baldoni frequently crossed professional boundaries, entering her trailer uninvited, making inappropriate comments, and pressuring her into uncomfortable situations.
During improvised kissing scenes, and also shot those scenes more times than would be expected to be reasonable, and during a scene where no audio was recorded, that Baldoni spoke to her out of character, not as the person he plays in the film, then licked her neck and said, "It smells so good," and after being confronted by this behavior, told Lively that he wasn't even attracted to her. Again, this is according to the complaint.
When Lively expressed her discomfort, the article alleged that Baldoni and his PR team retaliated by planting negative stories about her in the media, labeling her as difficult and unstable.
During another scene, Lively claims Baldoni improvised a kissing scene according to the complaint. Mr. Baldoni discreetly bit and sucked on Ms. Lively's lower lip during a scene in which he improvised numerous kisses on each take.
But Baldoni's lawsuit paints a different picture. In it, he claims that the New York Times selectively quoted texts and emails, stripping them of critical context to make him look like a villain. He argues that the article has caused irreparable harm to his career and personal life, and he's seeking $250 million in damages.
Justin is suing the New York Times for $250 million. Holy hell, this is insane. I mean, he's gonna have a hard time proving it, right? I mean, we're gonna have to see. No one just sues the New York Times, or do they? I don't know.
On June 2nd, 2023, Blake Lively began a text exchange with her. It ends with U.S. director and co-star Justin Baldoni, who blamed her assistant for not getting her an updated batch of script pages. She didn't realize they were new. Lively wrote, "New pages can always be sent to me as well, please," and signed the message with an X, the universal symbol for a kiss. She followed up with another text shortly thereafter, "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines." Baldoni responded, "Copy, eating with the crew, and we'll head that way." 18 months later, that interaction was depicted in a New York Times bombshell report in a far more sinister light. The Times wrote that Baldoni repeatedly entered her makeup trailer uninvited while she was undressed, including when she was breastfeeding.
But they were able to present text from Blake Lively herself. I guess they had gotten a new version of the script they hadn't practiced or whatever at this point. And she said, "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out our lines." And he said, "Copy, eating with the crew and then heading that way." So at least they can prove in this singular instance she did invite him in.
That discrepancy is one of many highlighted in the scathing $250 million lawsuit filed Tuesday afternoon by Baldoni against the New York Times in Los Angeles Superior Court. Baldoni is among a group of 10 plaintiffs, which also includes publicists Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Ayel, who are suing the newspaper for libel and false light invasion of privacy over the article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine."
And I think the truth lies in the middle, because Justin is putting out some interesting counter-arguments in this new suit that he's actually suing the New York Times. Now, is he going to win? I don't think so. I think it's an incredibly hard battle to win. But now, with what we've seen Trump do with George Stephanopoulos, who knows anymore where these things are going?
Lively's federal lawsuit, on the other hand, dives deeper into the allegations of harassment. She claims Baldoni's behavior began subtly but escalated over time, leaving her feeling unsafe on set. According to her lawsuit, the retaliation campaign not only damaged her reputation but also caused her severe emotional distress. The 87-page complaint, which also accuses the New York Times of promissory fraud and breach of implied contract, offers a rebuttal to the narrative set forth in the 4,000-word article that has rocked Hollywood and led to WME dropping Baldoni as a client just hours after publication. According to the lawsuit, it was Lively who embarked on a strategic and manipulative smear campaign of her own and used false sex harassment allegations to assert unilateral control over every aspect of the production. The suit also claims that Lively's husband, actor Ryan Reynolds, allegedly berated Baldoni in an aggressive manner during a heated meeting at their Tribeca penthouse in New York, accusing him of fat-shaming his wife. The lawsuit further claims that the A-list actor pressured Baldoni's agency, WME, to drop the director during the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere in July, well before Baldoni enlisted crisis PR.
Justin also leveled accusations at Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, for being aggressive while defending the Gossip Girl actress. According to the lawsuit obtained by E! News, it reads, quote, "Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, had aggressively berated Baldoni during a meeting at their penthouse in New York, accusing him of fat-shaming Lively, and that the couple's, quote, inappropriate and humiliating berating of him was delivered as other celebrity friends were coming in and out of their penthouse."